Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to Bleach 644, Baby Hold Your Hand 6, Never Ending My Dream. And we open with Kurochuchi walking off like a boss in a rain of Pernita. Of course, apparently Pernita got one last little shot and managed to take Kurochuchi's legs with him. So it's like,
Yeah.
so, and now we get the cannon fodder from the 11th squad coming with them. So here's like, I do commend you not stepping forth and interfering in the middle of my fight. Well, it's not like they do that, so.
Not to mention, I just kind of have to laugh because it's kind of like, first off, it's another leg, another limb that Kubo wanted to like destroy, but at the same time, it's also kind of like, well, there's really no point considering that Mayuri can easily like heal, which he will do later on. But it's like, because Mayuri's been like his arm's been ripped off. I think half of his entire body got destroyed by Yoryu back in the Soul Society arc too, right?
Think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, we come back here. It's like Kurosuchi points out some things in the rubble that were not there before, and we find a couple of little capsules with Hichigaya and Rangiku inside. At least I'm assuming that's Rangiku since you mentioned it. At first I thought it was Kira with the long hair, but I forgot about Rangiku.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the reason why these two, it's Rangiku's and
it's because they were zombified.
The captains were zombified too, but these two are the ones that no one knew about. Like the other captains were, they're still in their zombie forms, but they're helping out. I think like some of the Gote 13 members. For whatever reason, Hitsugaya and Rengoku were never they weren't mentioned at all. No one knew what they were. But as it turns out, it's because I guess Mayuri started with them first in I guess in like reversing their own zombification, and so they're back to normal basically. And this came at the cost of their lifespans, which is kind of
they're millennium-long lifespans.
Yeah, so I guess Hitsugaya is gonna live for like another 500 years instead of 1,000. Is that what's happening here?
Maybe 499.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah, poor guy.
He's still just a child, man. He's such a child.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Kurosuchi has the 11th Division guys put him and Kenpachi in those capsules and turn them on. So now that they can, and as the one closes on Kurosuchi, they actually kneel down and thank them for saving Captain Zuraki, for saving Kenpachi earlier. Meanwhile, while they leave and Kurosuchi starts recovering, he looks at Nemu's brain and starts pretty much pulling a Caesar clown, really. Or at least, well, I can't really say that because Kurosuchi kind of predates Caesar, but still, he's ecstatic about the fact that a man-made soul he developed from rudimentary scraps has evolved of its own accord. He feels like he's finally stepped out of Urahara's shadow.
And okay, I'm gonna get so and here's my problem.
This goes right back to what you've been saying. He views Nemu as an object.
Yeah, but here's the annoying part is that the next page shows him having a dream of Nemu of him and naked Nemu, which is kind of like. He even says, like, he calls her, on the left side of the headline, he says, Kubo wrote, the father, knowing the growth of his daughter, begins to slip into an endless dream of self-satisfaction, which is like, which is inferring that he actually still cares for his daughter. It's like, dude,
self-satisfaction.
He treated her like...
I mean, I don't really think so in this case. Like, self-satisfaction because of her growth, that's pretty much what his whole speech just now was about. Yeah,
but at the same time though, it's not that term. Like that term is actually supporting the fact that he does objectify her. But the one thing that pisses me off, the words were father and daughter, and dream, which is kind of annoying because and also the depiction of her like trying to hold on to grab onto Mayuri in his dreams. It's like inferring that while he does objectify her, there's like a small part that does care for her. It's like no. This entire page I don't like because it's again he's going back and trying to say no they do care, like he's just he doesn't. Showing a front.
He doesn't.
Like no, he doesn't, and that's the point, and that's why I don't like this because that's what you get though. That's the tone you get from this picture, right? Isn't that what you?
Not really. I just figured he was like going into a dream, and like his whole rant before is like I never really thought of it as him like having any kind of real caring for Nemu. It pretty much drove me more towards your side of it.
But the annoying part is that he's dreaming of her as a person rather than an object. So it's
like
and
that's
and
the form
he's,
of the object. For him, that's the shape of that object.
Well, it's actually more like a brain though. He looks at I mean, she's literally a brain to him right now. But the thing is though, like the fact that he falls asleep, seeing her like above him, it's very like platonic romantic type of thing. It's like he romanticized it, and that's the part I didn't like. I think that's the best term I like to use.
Kubo did or Kurosuchi did?
No, Kubo. He romanticized the depiction between their relationship for this page. And that is what I don't like, because I think it is inconsistent with the page before, where he's using Nemu as basically an object for a dick measuring contest with Kisuke.
For what it's worth, like if this were once this hits volumes and such, or even like the US One and Jump, that part probably wouldn't even be there, so it's going to end up being irrelevant anyway.
Which part?
The little thing on the side. The thing.
Oh yeah.
Father,
it's not even that. It's the picture. It's the fact that from seeing him in this dream, because in many manga and anime, this is kind of like the dream that people have when they have their loved ones, when they see them above in the ocean, falling. It's a very typical trope that you see in anime and manga in between loved ones, and that's what I don't like. It's because it's a romanticized depiction of two people's relationship. So when I see them doing this with Mayuri and Gemu, it's basically romanticized in their relationship, saying that Mayuri does care for Nemu, which again, it contradicts the page before, in which he was ranting about the whole brain being growth out measuring.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all. That's why I compared him to Caesar Clown and Vegapunk.
Yeah, except that they didn't have any of these pages that kind of contradicted. Like Oda was very straight with Caesar and the Vegapunk. Well, Caesar specifically. I don't know about Vegapunk, but
we've not seen him yet. But otherwise, yeah, it's the same general concept.
But with Caesar, it's kind of like, no, this guy has no remorse. He is a bad person. Done. Kubo's like, he is a bad person, but there's a little bit of heart in him, and that is what I don't like. And that is what this picture is trying to tell me, saying, yeah, he is a bad person, but there's a little bit of heart. And I'm just saying, Kubo, stay consistent, and that is my problem.
Yep.
Anyway. Just this page 11. Just take that page out. If they literally took that page out, I'd be perfectly fine.
And then going from there, we speak of the devil. We come up to Urahara and Kyoraku. I blanked on his name for a moment there, but they're together now. Turns out we also got Rukia and Renji there, and Shinji, and he looks like we got Nanao and Hinamori somewhere too, Momo. But the cannon fodders has since been cannon foddered.
Yeah, I'm just curious. What other vice captains are out there?
Well, now probably not really many anymore, because there's only half a dozen of them.
But I mean, the ones that are left are they just summed up half of them right there.
Well, the only ones that are left are the only ones that have actually ever done anything.
Exactly. I'm saying, when he says have all the vice captains been defeated, it's kind of like who was the ones that were. The reactors were surrounding. What were beginning to decrease? Who is Kyusuke referring to? Is he referring to?
Shuhei, the guy that got shot first.
Oh yeah, Shuhei. There we go. Shuhei, and then who else? Omaeda, maybe.
Probably. I completely forgot how they all got broken up now.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Is it kind of made he's implying that at least half of them were gone. When it's like, no, the other half of them are with you. And
it's just a cannon fodder that got taken away.
It's just annoying because he said the words "all." Have all the vice captains been defeated? And it's like, well, half of them are with you. Kira's already dead.
To be fair, he's asking that when Rukia and Renji are the only ones within sight of him. So, and then there's just kind of reporting in the ones that are still in condition.
So yeah, I don't know who are gone anyway. Who's out there?
I don't even know.
Shuhei?
I don't know.
The dog lieutenant guy. So his name was Iba or something. I don't know.
The guy that looks like a yakuza.
Yeah, 3. But he was with the dog. He's just standing there. That's the last time we saw him. So that's 3. And then we know for a fact that the 11 division guys are there. I guess Nemu counts too. So I guess Nemu, Hisagi, Omaeda, and maybe Iba are out. Probably. I don't know. I just feel like I just wanted the. I feel like the wording should have been a little better.
Yep.
It should she should have the other vice captains been defeated or something. I don't know.
Yep. And we cut to the sniper Ritter far away there. He's pretty much just gloating to himself, that enjoying the fear that they're enjoying because they don't know where he's firing from.
Yeah.
Of course.
I started getting a little annoyed when I started seeing this because I think this is the 10th time he's done this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of I'm starting to get tired of the typical villain with which is that he's silent, he's very quiet, but then he glows to himself quietly. Like he talks to himself and glows to himself.
Hopefully, Kyoraku will be putting an end to that pretty soon here.
I mean, yeah.
Because the next thing he does is he pretty much just makes himself a target to try and figure out where the guy even is.
Yeah, because I get that this is a very common thing in shonen shonen anime and manga, but I feel like with Kubo, I feel like everyone's like that. I get that feeling. I feel like Asuka's like that. I feel like this sniper guy's like that. I feel like literally every single elite guard except for Thor is like that. So it's kind of like, and so is Hashwell. Hashwell's like that. Bog's like that. Like the typical talking to yourself quietly while shooting people down type of villain is just like, I don't find that. I find it boring now in Bleach because it's done so much.
Yep. And then while he's doing some more gloating after shooting Kyoraku, we get a little bit of Rockabye Baby. And then at the very last word, Cradle and all, you see Kyoraku popping up behind him with a big old grin on his face. At which point he chops off the muzzle of the sniper rifle.
And now my last complaint of this chapter. When was the last time someone appearing from behind actually got their mark in Bleach? Because this is something that happens all the time.
That's true.
The whole appearing behind you, and you know what always happens? The guy who got attacked always dodges, and the guy who strikes him is always like, "Wow, you're so fast." That's exactly. This is literally summing up everything. It's like, now that's an impressive dodge. You're pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it never happens, right? I remember Wonder Wise did this to Kisuke. What was it? Ichigo did it to Byakuya. I mean, this is something that happens all the effing time in Bleach. All the time. I know one time it actually did work. Wonder Wise did it to Ukitake. It actually worked. Who else?
Okay, yeah.
Spot number 1, Coyote Stark did it to Kyoraku too. I mean,
the first thing that came to my mind was like at the beginning of the fake Kamakura arc, right when they started fighting Aizen in the Arn car, and they accidentally stabbed Momo. I think one of them got her from behind because they thought they were getting Aizen. So, like I said, I don't even know if I'm remembering that right.
That was actually awesome. The fact that it was Momo kind of pissed me off because that was actually an awesome strategy they had. But there was another one where who was it? Kyoraku tried to do it to Wonder Wise. So they had this whole. They literally, I think it only happened in terms of successful attack, like on the actual enemy, because the thing is that the Aizen kind of got like, it doesn't count because they got Momo. So actually he ended up avoiding it, which is basically what this guy does, but more, but in a very fancy way, the Aizen fancy way, illusion. So like literally the only time, because the whole behind you attacking you thing happens like, I'm sure I think it's happened like 4 times already, like in the past few months, but it's never worked on screen. I guess. Actually, I think the Luchador one did on Hisagi, I guess.
That's true. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but but it's again off screen. Doesn't really much to fight. Like I don't know. Like the fact it never works though. Like the whole appearing behind you thing, it never works.
I don't know if that's really exclusive to Bleach, but that does seem to be kind of particular here. I don't know. Just because it is such like it's a Worf effecty thing to do. Like, ooh, they dodged my attack. They must be tough.
I think the 2 problems I have with the one Bleach does it is that it does do it too much. It does it all the time, Like, and then the fact that it almost never works. I think it only it works. The only time I think it worked was Ukitake and with the the masculine against Hisagi. But in fact, there's even more stuff. Kitsugai did it to Halibel, but he missed. He didn't miss. She dodged it. So that's another one right there. Like I'm literally coming up with shit that's constantly happening.
Yeah. You have a better memory of Bleach stuff than I do. I save my storage space for One Piece.
I think I could sum this up in this. Kubo's way too formulaic. He's way too formulaic. Like he's using the same thing over and over again with different characters.
Yeah, and it's not quite in the fun way, like where you can use a formula but mix up just enough that you don't mind.
Yeah,
it's like just repetition at this point.
But see, that's the thing. Like when I watched this, when I read the scene,
remember during the whole Ichibei fight, we were pretty much saying like we knew exactly what would happen when someone's Bankai came out or when someone's big attack came out.
Yeah, but we'll see. The thing when I was reading the scene is kind of like I couldn't help but get reminded of all that stuff before because it was done so much. When I read Hisagi, not Hisagi. When I read the one with Hisugai versus Haribel, I wasn't exactly like annoyed at that point because I kind of wasn't because the whole I can use an ice cold one per day thing. That's kind of a ass pull, but I wasn't really upset as I am now because at that time it wasn't as repetitive. Now it is. He's doing it so much, But yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I get it, if I take that, I got a list. I mean, I already on this recording, I already listed like 6 of them off the top of my head. Who knows how many I can actually remember if I actually went back and wrote down everything,
Or just even, well, I was gonna say reread it, but who's gonna do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, you pretty much summed up my own thoughts on this chapter. Like I said, the only real thing that really kind of struck me is like where those healing capsules came from. I mean, I presume that they came up with all the Soul Society rebel that got brought up to make Warvault, or whatever they're pronouncing it as. Basically, the whole Quincy Cancel area they have there, it's made up of Soul Society.
I just go I just go with the whole it's Mayuri. He's assigned his reason.
Pretty much.
I don't really question that one.
Yeah. I don't know, mostly just because it came right on the heels of like Sizel and not just both coming out of nowhere, and also because like the whole thing with Kurosuchi and them, like it just brought to mind that whole stupid thing with we don't have enough power. Oh wait, there's a power converter right here, thing.
Like, that was funny, yeah.
Yeah, just like super convenient, just right when we need it, and never mentioned before that.
Yeah.
It just brought that. It just brought that to mind for me.
Yeah. I just wish that whoever. I don't know who's part of Kubo's staff. I just wish that someone working on that staff was allowed to have a second opinion. I just wish. I think Kubo can get really creative at times, but I just feel like the industry is kind of forcing him to be really repetitive. I don't know. Like he's I think what happened is that I think he's very talented. I just think that he's transformed his focus. He's turned his focus from creativity to money, which is unfortunate because that's what the industry does.
Right.
And I understand that that's how all the mangakas tend to do it, but I feel like Kubo's the one that truly gave up. He's the one that actually gave himself. He's a Shichibukai. He gave himself up to the government, whereas there are some Shichibukais who are still rebelling and all that shit. He is Kuma, but without the maybe he's working for the revolutionary part.
Right.
I don't know. I'm making a Wikipedia reference. Okay, I think that's probably the end of it here.
Yeah, to be honest, I think we're both more excited to get into One Piece anyway. To be absolutely honest, I know I am anyway.
Yeah.
So without further ado, that's been our typical manga review of Bleach 644. Baby, hold your hand 6. That's it. Keep an eye out for us. Like I said, every Tuesday we'll have new reviews up for Bleach, One Piece, and whatever other stuff comes out that week that we review. Meantime, go ahead and take us away.
Bye.